Namaste, beloveds. This is Mother with Wisdom, and I just want to welcome you to this particular video. It is a video that is going to be dealing with the Venus retrograde and a lot of the energies that are interacting and all about um, this October. I'm also going to deal a little bit with what's going on with current events. So let's just get into it, shall we? Um, as you know, the first portion of the videos that I do will be um, what what the downloads that I've received, what is coming from me and from spirit as a vessel, what I'm receiving um, to share. So let's just get into that a little bit. And excuse me for fidgeting, it's part of my getting myself comfortable to do what I need to do. It's part of my own ritual or routine or whatever you want to call it. It is what it is. There is so much going on right now. Um, I don't know if you can hear the music in the background or not, but it's Emile LaRue. And when I'm in this kind of mood or mode, I always listen to her because she grounds me. Um, Deeply grounds me. So I'm listening to her at the moment. Let me just get into it. There is so much happening. There are so many decisions that need to be made right now. There are so many choices. There's so much change that needs to happen. That we have to decide where we are in our heart space, not just our thoughts, but where we are literally in our heart space. Are we compassionate beings? Are we empathic, empathetic? Do we sympathize? Do we put ourselves in another's shoes? Do we know what pain is, or are we too numb to it to recognize it when it shows itself to us? Are we dismissive when somebody shows us their pain? Or do we step up as human beings, as spiritual beings, and offer our insight, offer our help, offer our heartfelt knowings, instincts? Um, we have to really focus and tune in to self-love at this time. And it is really not, I know a lot of people have been thinking, and I've been saying it as well, that this is a time of divine union. This is a time of twin flames and soulmates. And beloveds, that all begins with you. It does not begin with another person, does not end with another person. Okay, it cannot be fixed by another person, and it cannot be maintained by another person. That is the truth of this moment that we are in. And I want to say that we have been taught to seek mediators. Mediators in our prayers, when we speak to God, we're told to, you must go before a priest and confess, or you must go to church, or you must be in this organization or that societal, political good box, okay, to be normal, to be seen as normal, to be coveted, to strut your stuff, to walk that runway, to shine and glitter even though you're broke inside. Reflect that false light. Reflect it. Be it. That's that Luciferian light. That's that lesser light that exists. And understand, beloveds, that light is a force. It is a vibration. It is a frequency. It has a high end and it has a low end. Ground zero is the middle. And in being firmly rooted and grounded in where I need to be at ground zero, I am now able to make decisions that are rooted in not my ego, but my ancestry. Big difference. Big difference. Big difference. When I keep speaking that the martyr in me died and that I killed her, I want you to understand that was the most naive part of myself. That was the most innocent part of myself that just wants to go around hugging and loving everybody and only seeing the God in everybody and only the good in everybody and thinking that if I show the good in me, you'll show me the good in you. Like I said, very naive. But that part of me needed to be recognized, needed to be honored. And I needed to see her path. And that was shown to me. And I'm very, very grateful for that part of myself stepping forward in this now moment and sacrificing herself, literally, so that I would no longer be this naive fool that just goes ahead believing, Valerie, you could just love somebody and because it's love, if they want love back, they'll love you. They'll accept the love that you are giving because it is unconditional, you know? You're not telling them how to love you. You're just telling them, love me. And let's explore that love. And a lot of people aren't ready for that. And that was very naive on my part. And when I understand that is what every single relationship that I've been in, whether it's been physical or virtual, has been based upon me just saying, let me love you. Let me love you. I see the inner child in you that needs loving. Let me love you, you know? And that inner child reminds me of me. And if I can love me, I can love you. Let me just show you that love and what that love is. And, excuse me, my hand. Okay, what is this? Money or a letter or something? I gotta remember. I gotta look that up. The right hand itching. It's either letter or money. I don't know which one. I don't know. I'll let that go. Back to it. October is, as I've said, is the month my mother died. My mother died when I was 18 years old. I'm sorry, 19 years old. And I had just had my daughter. She died, my daughter turned 1 September 11th, 1984. And my mother died October 3rd, 1984. So she lived to see my daughter turn a year old. And then she passed. But my whole reason for stating that is that there has always been this paradoxical part of my nature, of my understanding of what love is and how love is expressed by me. And what I've kind of realized is I've stepped back, I fell back a little bit. I fall, you know how you say, wait a minute, you need to see this whole picture. And right now you're just focused on this part of it. And you need to see it all. And all of it is calling to you. See me, see the fringes, see the shadows, see the this, see the that. And I'm realizing that, people are who they are. And you're either going to accept them for who they are, or you're going to say where you're headed and where you're going is not aligned with the next phase of my life. And I am going to have to set different boundaries because I am a different being now. And I'm going to have to, in this now moment, I can't even tell you what I want. I really can't. I couldn't tell you if my life depended on it. Valerie, what the hell do you want as far as a romantic relationship? What I thought I wanted ain't what's best for me. Ain't what's best for me. So I think the lesson of it, and I think I honor the contract of it, and I am understanding the karma of it. And for any part that I have played in diminishing your light from however long ago it's been, forgive me. Forgive me my immaturity and not knowing what I was looking for. Okay? Fair enough? Good. I forgive you for not being able to give me what I was looking for, you know? And I also honor who you were and who you are. And we're family. And I'm good with that. And now it's time for me, like I said, to enter this next stage. And this next stage has not been controlled by me. It's been orchestrated by Mama. It's been seeded by Mama. I've been throwing these dang on seeds, okay? And I'm just now starting to witness and bear witness to the unfoldment of what was thrown, took root, and grew, and is bearing fruit. Sweet, juicy, ripe, spiritual fruit. And I am so excited. And the contrast has been the darkness of the cave and the reflection, and the light of the understanding of this new chapter, and integrating the lessons as they unfold. You know, that's the most important part. I'm understanding, because it's when you really digest spiritually the information, the situations, the images that you are receiving, that is when you truly began to be conscious and can truly consciously manifest what you want. Not being an infant and just out here manifesting stuff that you don't want, or you just manifesting. I wanted to see if I could manifest and woo, 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 woo. Okay, whoa. I can manifest. I did all of that subconsciously, unconsciously, semi automatic consciously, and now that I know I can do that, well, hmm, let's see what else we can do. Now that we know that this is part and parcel of us, let's do it consciously now with every fiber of our being, centered from a place in the heart that shines through the eyes, which are the windows of the soul. So, beloveds, forgive yourself for being immature. Forgive yourself for some of the choices, for some of the decisions, for some of the actions, for some of the reactions that you have had in the past. Put it behind you. Begin again. Get up. Start over. Be a new being. Create a new sacred space. Create a new consciousness that you want to manifest. Come up with solutions of how this matrix system needs to implode and what needs to happen, what the steps are that would make the transition smooth or smoother than what it is right now. Beloveds, this is October. This is the harvest season. Things that you have done are going to come back right now to be reflected upon. And the things that are coming back now, we've had Mercury in retrograde, we've had all those retrogrades, all the planets going in retrograde, and now Venus is here. And I want you to understand who Venus is, baby. And if you don't know, go and do your due diligence on the goddess Venus, on the energy Venus, on the planet Venus, on Venusian frequencies and influence. What it imparts to the energy of the cycle and the season that is taking place right now. I'm being told to speak on the Judge Kavanaugh debacle, is what I'll call it. As a woman who has endured and survived molestation, as a woman who was raped, as a woman who has counseled, done workshops, groups, and everything else of survivors of sexual abuse, sexual molestation, sexual assault, date rape. Having been a woman minister and counseled these women through telephone lines, having worked with the domestic violence field, I'm here to tell you that old boy network has got to go. It has got to go. It cannot endure. It cannot and it will not endure My granddaughters and my great granddaughters and my daughter and even myself. I watched my mother be who she was because of how this matrix system had treated her just for being who she was. Mm, we have a long way to go, beloveds. We have a long, long way to go. But let me tell you, it begins one step at a time. And we stepping that way, babies. We are stepping, we high stepping, y'all. We high stepping, okay? It did not happen overnight. It is not going to change overnight, okay? It has to be uprooted. That means all of the little individual branches and offshoots and everything else has to be addressed, has to be attached. Okay? This is a hydra with many, many, many heads all over the world, global, global heads. Okay? And the way they have stayed in power is through. Okay, how do y'all want me to say this? Excuse me. They got in the bed through marriages. They had to do that by making the woman less than. Before that, the women were queens. The women were the rulers. That's why you have the Queen of married Queen of Scots. This and that queen, that and that queen, the Candaces, the Candakis, the Cleopatras. Understand and understand why the patriarchy did what they did and what must happen now. We must rise. The sacred feminine and the sacred masculine must rise. And we must lead the way. We must show the way of harmony, the way of balance, the way of freedom, the way of equality, self-love, and non-judgment based upon forgiveness for being human and ascending, needing to ascend. Not that you are sinners and no good and always gonna fail and gonna burn up in hell and blah, 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 blah. You're in hell. Ascend. You have been given the tools to do so. You know what the Christ consciousness is. You know where the Christ consciousness came from. You know that the Christ consciousness cannot be killed, cannot be eliminated. It can only be obscured with lies, hidden from plain sight, in plain sight. But we are at a time, beloveds, where the veils are no more. And anybody can see, and everybody can see. All you have to do is want to become the seeker. That's all. That's all you have to do is seek, is knock, is look, is listen. And you're going to hear, and you're going to feel, and you're going to know what you need to know in that moment. And beloveds, I'm here to tell you, as one who loves to know beforehand, okay, or at least to be able to have some kind of portal or something, some kind of hint or something. But right now, it is all still up to you. It is up to you to know who you are, your identity, and who you identify with, and whose side you're on. You're either, and it's not a left right, it's not a good evil, it's a balanced and an unbalanced. Okay? That's what you have to choose. A way that is balanced, that works for all, that the economy is for all, the abundance is for all. Everything is about the all. Everything is about the collective. The individuals in this realize the collective is greater. And yes, you have to take care of the individual in order for the health of the collective to be at its best. But each individual needs to realize the collective is just as important as the individual and should not be neglected. You are not separate from your collective. Whatever that collective is, whether it vibrates at a high frequency or a lower frequency, you need to understand that if that's who you've chosen as your collective, that's who you've chosen as your collective. That's who represents you and your spectrum, your light, your mathematical values, your whatever is all based upon the rules, the laws, the regulations, the unity of your collective and what its intention is. An intention is broken down either to harm or to heal. To harm or to heal. There is no in between those two. It's either or. Who are you? Do you strive for balance? Do you seek balance? Do you want balance? Do you think human beings are capable of balance? What do we need to balance us out? What do we need to restore us to ground zero? And the answer is a fall from grace. A fall from grace. And a fall from grace can be many things, can mean many things to many people. To some, it could just be falling and getting into the habit of cursing or drinking pop again or eating meat again or whatever, you know, or going out and dating or going back out to the clubs or, you know, going back to doing something that fulfilled you at one time. Even if you didn't know what that fulfillment was, it just balanced you out. When you're balanced out, beloveds, you don't have the anxieties. And let me gift you what was given to me 2920 with the understanding of anxiety. Anxiety is a state of not knowing what is going to happen or feeling that you're not in control of something. And beloveds, I want you to understand what was given to me as I needed to address the situation in my own cave of wonders, so to speak. um, Let me give it to you like it needs to be given. Um, this is how they gave it to me. It's always got to do with mothering and birthing and the female essence and energies. That's just where I live. That's where I live. So it is what it is. Um, when you are in labor, even if it's false labor, there are contractions that happen within your body, in the womb itself. And those contractions cut off your breathing. What you feel is the body responding to that lack of oxygen. It's panicking. What do? You tighten this up. Unclench us. Okay? And as a woman is giving birth, as a woman is giving birth, the doula, the midwife, the doctor, whoever her coach, they all tell her to do what? Relax and breathe. Focus on your breath, on the intake and the outward breath, on your inhaling and your exhaling. That is how you regulate. That is how you put your anxiety, you take control of it. You take control of your anxiety with your breath, being aware of your breath. Fear, angst, anger are all hormonal, adrenaline type fight or flight type energy is emitted. And you respond, the human body responds to that accordingly. And beloveds, I'm here to tell you, when I know of several people that have panic attacks. I don't have panic attacks, but I have relatives that do, and I have known a lot of women that do. And these women all came from what I would call post-traumatic stress situations. And when they get themselves in that situation, the anxiety paralyzes them, or it puts them in another conscious frame of mind where they are no longer the rational, intelligent being. They become something different. Someone who is unsure, someone who is full of doubt, someone who is just frozen like a deer in the headlights. All because they're anticipating what is going to happen next in a negative way. You're anticipating it. You're trying to meet it before it happens. Breathe. Allow it to unfold. Allow it to come to you. And allow it to present itself to you. Allow it to speak. Allow it to let itself teach you who it is, regardless of what someone else has said, regardless of someone else's opinion. See for yourself what it is. Weigh that on your own heart scales, your own ma'at, your own spirituality and humanity ratios and balances based upon who you are. Is it compatible with you? Does it work with you at all? Does it serve the mama? In what way does it serve the mama? And is that a mathematical enough equation that it balances with yours? If not, just let it go. Not with anger, not with frustration, not with fear, not with hate, not with taking it personal or that it was about you, that it didn't work or whatever. Let that go. Let that go and just let it be. Because what's for you is for you. And you don't have to be anxious about anything. And if you are anxious about it, that is your system letting you know that it is not balanced with yours. Do your due diligence and look into it and look underneath the surface of things and see where the energy comes from that you are feeling that is causing you to question, the surface that you're seeing or feeling. There's always more, always more. Okay, let me get to it. That's been about 36, 39. So let's move into this reading, beloveds. I'm going to start with the, and I hope I think I've covered everything from the Kavanaugh um, trial. That man has no business being on the Supreme Court. And if he is put on the Supreme Court, it's because of an agenda that is in place and that needs to be enforced. And he is the key to that agenda. Do you understand me? Also, Spirit is saying there is a big Mormon connection with that. And Spirit says Mormon Mafia and understanding the ties that tie all of that together. And beloveds, again, nothing is new up under the sun. Okay? These ancient societies have been in place for a very long time. And when they see their order being threatened, they will come together as a collective as well. I want you to understand that. And I want you to understand that why something is not making sense to you, but everybody is supporting it. That's because it's a collective involved. And it's the greater good of the collective, not the individual, that is on trial. Okay? So understand, these people are protecting their way of life. And they will kill anybody. Know it. This is not game time. This is not PlayStation. This is not Nintendo. This is not Wii. Okay? No, this is real fucking life. Life that can be taken away from you, and you're not going to get another one in this lifetime. You're not just going, you got another life. You got an extra life like on the video games. No, no. And when you hurt somebody, you are literally hurting somebody. Okay? You're hurting them. Just as if they were really hurting you and not hurting you in a game. But we're literally cutting on you and shooting on you and raping you and taking from you and bullying you and stalking you. I want you to understand. Like I said, my little martyr self, is gone. She gone. She gone. She gone. She could not exist in this realm. Could not exist. She was not in our best interest to exist anymore, to make decisions anymore, to make choices anymore. And now it's a new learning, because we have not been at this point before. So this is a stance in wisdom that is encoded, meaning let it flow. Don't try to control it. It might change from one day to the next. We are in a retrograde, a Venus retrograde. Understand what that means. Venus rules the heart, okay? Rules the passions, rules the attachments, rules the tides, rules the hormones, okay? Rules the feelings. So your feelings are going to be all over the place right now. And all I can do is say, find your truth and you will find your balance. Keep your truth focused. Stay focused on what your truth is, your personal, individual, and collective truth. Stay focused on that and let it be the light to guide you. Right now, we are getting ready to be hit with a whole lot of unseen energy. A lot of things are going to be happening that are not going to make sense. And a lot of other things are going to make crystal clear, perfect sense. But you have to be conscious and awake and aware enough, beloved. You really have to be conscious, awake, and aware enough. And you have to want it. You have to want change. And you have to know that you're strong enough to be part of that change. And like I said, even if ups and downs occur, get up. Dust yourself off. Keep your focus and your intention where it needs to be. And when you are distracted, and you will be, because that is the goal of those lesser lights. Some of them, not all, is to distract you from what your mission is, from who you are becoming, because it is a threat. And not only are you a quiet threat, but you a big ass mouth threat, and other people are listening. Okay, that is what it is. That's that portion, and we will move forward now to the cards. One card is I already consecrated and blessed all of these decks. What I will do is I will stop this portion of the video, and I will just do all the cards in the next portion of it. So, beloveds, that is this portion. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, let me see what's coming up. Find what comforts you. Find what soothes you. Keep it close. Keep it handy. Keep it near. And learn to self-soothe. Learn to comfort yourself. Learn that there are times when it is best to be solitary simply because of the things that are getting ready to take place. And it awards you and allows you a clearer picture without distraction or distortion, so to speak. Um, and what else? What else, Mama? Um, just that being a new being can be a little bit intimidating. Um, because you still have all of your knowings and beings, but you're aware that there's something more now that is observing and that is answering and that is asking and that is knowing and that is telling. So it's a beautiful thing. And if you are at that course on your path, please understand and understand what is taking place with you. You are not going crazy. You are awakening. And it is a process. And it is a process that will and can sometimes feel like a punch in the stomach. It will take your breath away. You'll be like, what the hell? Allow it. Flow with that. It's not going to overwhelm you. It's not going to be more than you can handle. Even though it may feel like that at the time. Breathe through it, beloveds. Breathe through it, whatever it is, however it presents itself to you, be it person, place, situation, or thing. You know, face it with your divine strength. Face it with the truth of who you are and who you know yourself to be. And if you're grounded in that, you'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. Okay, that is this portion of the video, the Venus retrograde. And beloveds, I know I haven't given you much on what the Venus retrograde is. There's enough information out there for you to do that. There are 1,000 videos that will come out and give you that. And part of due diligence is seeking, putting yourself in seeking mode where you are actually asking and looking and interacting. There we go. Interacting with the universe. That's what you do when you seek knowledge. You're saying, I'm ready, teach me. I'm open, give me something. I'm hungry, feed me. And the universe will respond. Always be clear in what you need. Be grounded before you ask. And make sure that you are heart-centered in what you're asking for. So don't just ask when you're freaked out or you feel fear or whatever, because you'll ask for something and what you'll ask for won't be what you need in totality. It'll just be a part or a piece, and it's not going to solve what you need because it hasn't been thought through. It's a reaction, ask, or prayer. Pray with intention. Ask with intention. and know that what you ask for will be given to you. You will receive it. That is part of the interaction that has to take place, and that is necessary um, as part of how the process works. And empowering yourself with the knowledge that there is a process that can empower you is the reason for this video in the first place. In this now moment, at this time, it is for you to realize your identity, that you are a sacred, sovereign being, that you are a child of the divine, and that ways have been made for you, for this whole, the things that we have chosen, okay? Infinite intelligence knows and accounted and allowed those things to happen as contrast, to be experienced as conflict by some, and by others as means and ways to achieve what you want. It's going to all come down to balance, beloveds. And with the understanding of balance is the wisdom of the Great Mother, the Great Father, the Great Holy Spirit. Okay? It is that integration that makes that connection. Okay, that is going to do it for this portion of um, this particular video. And I will be coming back with the card portion of this. 5222. Wow. Okay, it is what it is, beloveds. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you get something from it. Again, if you can hear the music in the background, it's Emile LaRue. Just her music, nothing in particular. You can Google her if you want. Okay, beloveds, let's get into the card portion next. And we don't want to cut off. Come on.